So, how does Delphi use AI in their product? Delphi is a software that helps you create a digital self, a digital duplicate that has your way of thinking, your thoughts, and your knowledge. So, this is a really, really cool and I think revolutionary new way of consuming media in a way. I feel like it'll be a really, really big thing in the future. It's kind of like we had books, we had written text, we had podcast, movies. Now it's could potentially the next thing would be to like talk to the people you actually admire or the people you're learning about, and talk to them. And that is possible right now, and that is possible with a pretty simple technique in AI, specifically for LMs, and that is a RAG model, which is retrieval augmented generation. That essentially means is a chatbot that is connected to a knowledge base and or a database, and all of its answers are going to be based on that database and that knowledge base, and all of the answers are going to be based on truth. And the most well-known version of this would be like Perplexity, and that was their whole value proposition. It was like the founder was a PhD student, and he was getting annoyed of how ChatGPT was just hallucinating all the time, and was like thinking back about like when he was writing research papers and thesis papers, and like how every single sentence he writes he has to cite it, and so he thought about like why shouldn't AI do the same thing, make all of its answers be backed up by some sort of truth, so it cut down hallucinations. Um, so what Delphi has done is re- basically commoditized this type of RAG model, but for creating a digital self, for like a twin of yourself. And the way they do that is they've targeted content creators because these content creators have a shit ton of data, and the way they have this data is with their content. So they have a bunch of podcasts, YouTube videos, essays, blogs, books, a bunch of things. So like they have their mind and their knowledge just all over the internet. So it's super easy for them to just basically bundle that up and put it in there. So that would be pretty difficult for a random person to just kind of like get all that information and all that knowledge necessary to actually create a useful RAG model that will be kind of a replica of you. So it's uh it's a really really interesting product, and what they're using it right now is basically as a like a lead magnet, and I'm gonna get into that a bit more. But the first place I saw this was actually uh, from Lenny, and from Lenny's podcast, and he has his own chatbot called LennyBot. And I've already asked it a few questions. I can't ask any more because there's a limit. So when you ask a question about whatever you want, like what's the biggest lesson product managers keep talking about? So I was interested in that, and then it gave me an answer, and then you can check obviously the answer and like where did he get the answer from. So it was from YouTube video, it was from a podcast, from this specific time in this podcast. You can go into that, you can see the tweets that were used, and then you can ask a couple of questions, and it's very useful, and it's very good. It's basically like you're talking to Lenny, but it obviously AI version. Um, but you still get access to all of the knowledge from all of the podcasts into one place. Just like you talk to a chatbot, you talk to an AI. Like that's exactly what I do every single day with ChatGPT. The way I personally like getting my knowledge and learning new things is definitely through uh, an AI, and that is the biggest shift that's going on right now. Um, so I really, really think this is gonna be the future of knowledge. So when you want to learn something new, you're gonna talk to a digital replica of somebody you want to learn from, dead or alive. Um, but right now, the way they use it is basically as a lead magnet. So they provide so much value with this uh, AI duplicate of this specific content creator that they will capture your email. And uh, for the people that don't know what a lead magnet is, basically providing so much free value that people start to trust you or buy something from you afterwards. Uh, I won't get to specifics for that, but they've provided so much value here with the chatbot and the few free questions I got, that providing an email, it doesn't cost me that much, and I see the value in it, and I will provide my email, and then they start building a list of emails, and this is a super cool and interesting way to actually nurture your audience and give them a lot of value, and obviously get some value yourself as a content creator. And another cool thing about this is actually, I read this on their website. So in full transparency, I haven't used their product myself because I can't, it's on a wait list right now, so I can't really get into the product and see how it actually works. But obviously I used LennyBot and other content creators that have created their own Delphi. But a cool thing here is that you can basically create some actions or some triggers. So like if one of your customers or one of your users uses the chat more than 50 times, you can give them a tag as loyal, or whichever number you think of, or whichever tag you want, or whatever you want to actually track. So essentially helps you like even get more detailed information on your email list. So get a really in-depth and detailed list so you can actually use it properly and target people properly with the right products or ads or whatever you want to do with that email list afterwards. It's completely up to you. But it's a really revolutionary way of actually creating a lead list or an email list and actually getting a bunch of data on it that people are willing to give, kind of. Like these chatbots are going to become such a HubSpot for collecting just data on people. I don't want to sound like a like a Silicon Valley psychopath or something like that, but like ChatGPT already collects a bunch of data on you, and they're going to become one of the biggest companies to actually collect a lot of information on you, because like you're using ChatGPT on a daily basis for a variety of things, and it builds a profile on you way more than Meta, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok can ever build. Yeah, so very interesting way of doing it. And they have some other things like insights, like I don't know how that works, but it looks very interesting to me. It might give you like some extra insights on the users and what they ask for and what they do. And then you can also charge people if they've used it a lot, or if you want to start charging, or whatever you want to do as a content creator that owns this digital replica of yourself. So really cool and revolutionary way of using a RAG model. Such a simple thing, and but such a valuable thing. It's, as I said, the biggest use case of LLMs. Creating digital replicas is just spot on. And using content creators, because they already have a bunch of data, you don't need to collect the data. It's just absolutely amazing. Just amazing strategy on their side. I absolutely love it. What I would do differently, or what I would add to this, would be, usually I give ideas that are more AI related, but here I really, really love the idea of the digital duplicates. And currently this is more of a B2B or like B2C in a content creator sense, kind of. It's not really for the broad masses to create their own, or it is, but again, the use case is mostly for these people, like content creators and experts. But they should have a B2C aspect of actually going through and finding the people you want, and you can just learn from them. Because I feel like this is going to be the next step in learning. Like, I want to learn from Lenny specifically, and I'm going to talk to Lenny. Or I want to learn from Jay Shetty, and I want to talk to Jay Shetty, right? Or like, I want to learn about business in general. Who are the people I need to talk to? Like, it could potentially become like a Spotify or Netflix for, digital duplicates. And there's a lot of thinking to go through here, and a lot of money models and pricing, and how do you do this, and how do you make this? How should it look? Should it be just all of them in one place? Should it be something more curated, like different sections and different packages that are being sold, like more creative stuff, more business stuff, more investment stuff, more spirituality stuff, and get like 10, 15 experts in that field? Or could it be something more like a board of directors of you get a variety of people that you either choose or Delphi curates, and you get advice from these people and just talk to them, and they essentially just give you advice based on what you asked for, and they choose which expert to use. Yeah, it could be something like that, like a one chatbot, and maybe you can choose, or you already have a preset of like 10, 15 experts in different areas, and then when you talk to it, based on the question you ask, you're gonna get the most relevant person to answer the question. So that could be a really cool way of doing it. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to think through this, but the B2C aspect could be absolutely huge if they become the hub and the place to distribute these duplicates, like AI's versions of these people. They're going to become the natural step to actually create them. And then it's a great value proposition for the content creators. I don't know how you want to do it specifically. Do you want to pay them per usage, or do you want to maybe give them the leads or the emails for every time people use your specific chatbot? So yeah, there's a lot of ways to think through it, and obviously it's extra reach for these users, new people, people that just found you out that you exist from here. So uh, there's a lot of ways to do it, but again, I think the B2C aspect could potentially be absolutely huge, and it's definitely a very, very interesting and very, very bright future for Delphi, no doubt. So absolutely really love this product. I love the whole idea of it, and I'm super excited to see where this company goes. Like, but yeah, catch you in the next one.